Hello, my name's Somin. I work under the artistic name SOMATIC, and I am the composer and sound designer for Deewane. I think it can, especially in the context of this piece, really help to kind of underscore the emotional content a lot of the time and give another level of detail and gravitas to a lot of the storyline and the words throughout and the what people are really trying to tell in terms of relationships and emotion and how we connect with each other. It's a case of doing a lot of research, finding out what is the sound kind of that era, what were the people who are making those tracks being influenced by, and then thinking about how I can take both the influences and that kind of sort of sound of that time period and make something that's in a similar vein but with my own little bit of a stamp on it. It's kind of figuring out what the track is intending to do in the context of the piece and in context of the storytelling moment especially. What kind of emotional language you want to translate to the audience, because I think that's a lot of what the music really is intending to do for this piece especially. And then figuring out, what is the right kind of flavour of track really, the right style and the right genre, and then lots and lots of research really. Collecting kind of then a palette of sounds, a palette of samples that feel right, and then kind of start to piece those together into, but initially just kind of a rough sketch of an idea, getting a sense of, okay, this is the right direction, checking that with both the director and the writer in this context, and the movement director. And then once we kind of know that that's the right direction, the right feeling state, then figuring out kind of how we need to structure it out to apply to the scene itself. I have always been doing music of some form, from taking out pots and pans from the kitchen at under the age of 2 and thwacking them with sticks and chopsticks and things like that, to kind of going into percussion and drums, and then that kind of developing into doing radio stuff and making electronic music. It's always been a centre of my life, music. I think partly also growing up going to festivals every year, like from under the age of 1, I've grown up with things like sound system culture as being a key part of my life really. And COVID was quite a weird one, because not being in front of a loud sound system for 2 years straight was just alien to me. And so that visceral sense of feeling music is really important to me as well, and something that I know that I've always wanted to try and recreate for myself. Music's just always been there. It's something that I've always feel like I have to do for myself really as well, even if it's not a job. Experiment, try things. That's really what creates good music and sound, pushing yourself to kind of go, I wonder what this does, and figuring out new ways to build things, and just really enjoy making, enjoy the creativity of it and the experimentation of it, knowing not necessarily that everything's going to be great or be good, but it's the process and that really matters. I can do it in 2. Brown Joy. It's really a new thing. I've never seen anything like this before. It's telling a real story from an era that is only really starting to be rediscovered in some ways and documented properly now. And I think for a lot of young people who are recarving out their identity, I think it's really important, because it offers something for you to potentially embody for yourself as well.